I'm just gonna sit and wait a little bit longer, see if anybody pops in. Welcome. So it is appropriate that you are here first. Also, not terribly surprising. Potentially the sole viewer for however long. Um, I have that auto ducking thing that you talked about set up, so I would like feedback on that. I'm going to turn the game audio up a little bit in Streamlab, and I want to make sure that the auto ducking is actually working properly. So right now, my microphone is maxed, and Elgato is at point 0.2. I'm going to set it all the way up to let's say 0.45 right now, which you're not going to hear yet because the menu is the only thing that's active. Uh, I'm assuming, based on what I was reading and how I set it up, I just followed the exact example, that it's going to pick up my microphone and use that to lower the game audio until I stop talking. Because when I was going through the VODs from the other night, the game was like really quiet, which I think is kind of a bummer, especially for Ghostbusters of all things, since that's all, very iconic sound work and voice acting and stuff like that. And I do want it to come through. So let me know. This will be a good opportunity to figure out whether or not this is working properly or if it's too intense or not. And I should probably have just everything defaulted right now because it's been a while. Do performance because actually, yeah, that sounds good. Show subtitles. Yes, I'm not. I'm going to turn it up a little bit since this TV is not optimized for newer games. And we're going. Oh, yeah, no, the menu has like no audio, period. You're going to need to wait until the actual game kicks on.
This is gonna be weirder than
And
usual.
it's also tricky because my TV is turned down so I can't really hear the game audio at all.
You called me, so here I am. I know I shut you out sometimes. I'm always glad to
Unable
hear
to.
from you.
Really? You can't hear the
It's
game
just that
dialogue at all?
I get my hopes up. So
That's
many
not the
times it's
best.
led to nothing.
Let me. Oh, I wonder. Hold on.
I
Let me
found
turn my ceiling
nothing.
fan off. Maybe it's picking that up. I'm ducking.
It's like we live in a
And
room,
then let me
and there's a
also, I guess,
poster on the
crank
wall.
the. So right now,
We
game is at
stare
point
at it and
0.7.
we think that's the whole world. The room and the poster. The picture's something nice. A landscape, a
So let me
famous
know how that's
person.
feeling now, or if there's any
Like in
noticeable
that
change at
movie.
all.
What is it called? The prison movie. The room's a cell, and the picture, it's different for each of us. It can be
Really? That's super
beautiful
weird.
or terrible.
Definitely shouldn't be if
We're
Ghostbusters
all
was, like, deafening.
transfixed.
I wonder if maybe it's just the settings. I'm just gonna max it out.
But it's all
Elgato's
a
at 1
lie.
right now as well.
Something to distract us
So this is
from
the highest it can
truth.
be without going into the ducking settings.
They're lying to us. We're lying to ourselves. The room's not the world. The world is much bigger and much
Based on the
stranger.
actual audio meters on
There's a
Stream Deck right
hole
now,
hidden
it should
behind
be...
that poster that leads to the real world.
Okay, yeah, this is me talking, so this is now the
We
duck
all
test.
feel
Let me know if
safe
this
in
is
that room.
acting as expected, if it's actually
But
ducking things down.
sometimes-
I mean, I'm talking over
Sometimes
Jesse, even
something
though this
crawls
intro
out
is
from
good and
behind the
spooky.
poster. And the ones that see it happen
It'll also help
freak
too
out
when there's like
and try to
combat and
forget
other stuff
what they
going on
saw.
as well. Not
I'm
mostly
here.
ducking, really.
Why did you bring me here?
Edit filters. Would that be,
Hello?
I guess, raising
Anyone
the
here?
threshold, maybe? Or lowering the threshold? Now is definitely the time to figure it out, because we're earlier on, and this is not exciting stuff, but I would very much like exciting stuff to come in hot and proper. I'm also going to turn the ceiling fan back on if that wasn't the problem. I'm going to check the tutorial you sent. So the microphone is correct. Output gain. I wish it went into detail about which of these. Yes. Hi, Chris. Thank you for joining. Yeah, so this game is in the same setting as Alan Wake. So there's heavy DLC that I'm probably not going to go through in this playthrough just because it kind of derails the main plot. That is, like, literally a direct tie-in between this and Alan Wake. It's, you know, named characters and everything. It is active participation. It's super cool. And I actually ended up stumbling onto it by accident the first time I went through because I've got the Ultimate Edition. It's super worth it, though. It's really, really fun. I'm not going to worry about the ducking stuff right now. I'm just going to lower the game back down to, let's say, 0.75. And just let me know if anything gets overwhelming or anything like that, and we'll go from there. Because I would like to actually get back into this. I never got to finish the game initially, and I really, really, really enjoy all of it. I'll probably grab collectibles just in case I need to find any passwords or anything like that. I don't remember how many of them actually have stuff like that written down, but I really want to make sure that we're not missing any key items or anything so that I can minimize backtracking if I can help it. But yeah, the aesthetic of everything about Control is like way, way up my alley. It's the whole opening, very normal. I believe the setting is New York, but kind of non-specific New York. We're going to learn a lot more about this building as we go.
This seal.
And I mean, there's
saw
a
long
load
time
of
ago.
writing. It is
Keep seeing it
a
in my
very
dreams.
additional storyline in the collectible notes heavy game in a really good way. Like, the writing in this is superb. Bureau at work. And then you are the director. So we got some important stuff right away. No. But yeah, like I've mentioned, I'm going to try to stick to the golden
Federal
path.
Bureau of Control. All these years I've been looking.
Honestly,
for
you're going to get to
hiding
MIB
in plain
territory
sight.
closer than I think you may expect as we go. Also, this is the first time I've played this on the PS5 Ultimate Edition. Part of that is why I'm doing a completely new save file instead of anything that might have New Game Plus stuff, because when they ported it, it's a rare instance where they actually totally redid the engine. So they had no way of having save file migration over from the PS4 to the PS5 version, which started out disappointing until I remembered how much my original non-pro 4 was like just spinning itself to death trying to run how good this game looked on launch. So I'm really excited to play through it with like no hitching, no issues at all. It's just like gonna be full 60 FPS, nice and gorgeous. This is the settings that like doesn't have ray tracing and all of the pretty graphics turned on, and it still looks as good as it does.
Go to the interview. Go that way to the elevator.
And yeah, New York themed is a good way to put it, but I actually do think that, you know, this building is supposed to be in a specific location, which I'm sure will pop back up.
You'll work for me. You can say I sent you.
And Ati is surprisingly important, if you weren't already guessing that.
Relevant. There be work for the axe. Take them behind the sauna, jumalauta.
I've done enough night shift loner jobs to know it makes us come off weird.
The
Aki, the
PS4
janitor,
was
is a friendly
really
face in my
capable
book.
for certain things, but as soon as devs really tried pushing the envelope with it, you needed to get the pro version for you to not feel the performance hits. And Control in particular, like, they really went for it. Remedy did a great job on making a game that is, you know, superbly well put together, but you know, it is much more system intensive than I think the console was really designed
The
for.
cell and the poster.
But the 5
I
is
was
beefing
11 years
through
old
it.
the first time I saw behind the poster.
Being beefy through
They
it, I guess
told me
beefing
I
through it would be a
imagined
negative.
it.
But, you know,
I've been trying to pull it down ever since. Will you help?
I love these cut-ins. Like, the atmosphere... Oh, this... Right, God, there's like a full opening credits sequence. The atmosphere in Control is arguably the best part of a game that is, like, nothing but best parts. I do not remember a single portion of what I did actually play through that wasn't, like, superb. And it's one of the games... Ghostwire on my Halloween set is kind of in this bracket as well. I think a little bit below Control, but still very good. Where it's remarkably good. Like, everybody that has played this game, as far as I'm aware, absolutely loves it. It sold really well. It did well enough to get a sequel. It did well enough to get Alan Wake a sequel. Really reignited Remedy as a studio, I think. Not that they were struggling overtly or anything, but like, it did so well, and nobody ever talks about it, from what I can tell. Like, Control is just kind of around, even though it's like probably one of the best games from its generation by a wide margin. You know, only getting better with all of the, you know,
Did I lose you
remaster
there for a moment?
work that we got for the PS5
I don't
version
know
and
what's
everything
on my
else.
mind.
It's
My baby brother,
kind of amazing to
Dylan.
me how under the radar such an
17
incredibly
years
successful
since the men
game
of this
went.
bureau took him.
It's like the jokes that people make about Star Wars being a small indie movie and nobody ever hearing about it, even though obviously everybody has, except, like, kind of for real. It's a really weird situation. So I'm excited to be going through it again more at length. But yeah, we are just an unassuming janitor trainee. And clearly, after that intro and the not at all ominous feeling of this whole setting, not going to encounter anything bizarre at all.
Shit. Shit. You want me to pick it up? The murder weapon? Really?
And if you haven't been able to see, we're getting this kind of like crystallized flare. It's particularly strong right here visually. I don't know how well the stream quality is picking. Oh yeah, I can see it in the preview. That is who Jesse is talking to. That lens flare effect. I'm not going to go into why or how, but that's important. And then all of these cut-ins.
And there goes the poster.
Objects of power can cause or be results of
if anybody
AWE's
here,
altered
well, I guess
world events,
you in
intrusions
particular, Chris
upon
Comics,
perceived reality.
is familiar with
The service weapon is, of
either
course,
Eureka
a prime
or Warehouse
example
13.
of an
There's a lot of
very
maybe unintentional
powerful
influence. I'd really like to dig in to
Ingrained
see
in
if the
Bureau's
devs
DNA, a key
were aware of
component
it,
in our prime candidate program.
of
Come
kind
out
of
that
those
Russian roulette away,
series
you're
that are
it.
baked into how this all works and plays off. But this is taking it in a much, I guess, darker direction. Like, some stuff in those series weren't the most happy, but this is definitely more, I guess, realistic. It's hard to put it into proper words. I feel like you guys know what I'm talking about. Also, God, these textures are good. I don't think I've got any special abilities yet. This is really more just like, okay, you're not going through hallways, you're seeing some shit. We're getting melee now. And then I guess I can't hover yet. Nope,
The same
that's not
gun.
it. Or maybe that was it. It's always a little hard to tell in this game sometimes.
Okay. Now I have.
And I love that it's called the service weapon. Everything about it, like just the details of it kind of like pulsating and vibrating, like this is not a gun. But there isn't really a better name for it. And then the way it works is an unlimited ammo factor, which is quite nice. There's enough stuff to focus on in this game without having to worry about ammo reserves. Good and responsive. This feels really good with the feedback on the PS5 shoulder buttons too. Taking good advantage of it. I'm a fan. Even if my aim is terrible. I appreciate the fact that the melee is actually serviceable for a starting period in the game as well. A lot of times melee will just kind of like knock people around a little bit, but you really are expected to go based off of the gunplay. But control isn't exactly traditional that way, so I appreciate the fact that it really leans into all of the things that it has.
Something's coming. This threat. An attack.
All these, as far as I'm aware, a lot of this also blends live footage in ways that are really unique to cutscene work that I've seen or haven't seen before. I'm a big fan.
You hear that? It's the dead man.
Also, as long as the audio seems serviceable, I'm not going to worry too much about keeping Streamlabs open, but definitely let me know if anything needs to be adjusted.
This gun's alive. You know what? I'm happy. Happy.
So anyway, we're the director of this whole building now.
Things have quieted down outside. Is it safe to go?
Which again is completely normal. You know, just like any traditional office building.
You can't let this happen. 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 You stopped it. You. Oh, thank you.
Just like absolutely superb looking. The fact that that was live footage and now we're back to the model and it's kind of openly seamless in a way is really impressive to me. I love those visuals on like the steam coming out of these guys, like the way it's gonna, as soon as I land any of my hits, just that like ethereal pop. Yeah, like, if that was trippy, right now, bear in mind, we're still in a relatively normal room. Also, remember those paintings that I was walking past that showed the director have already updated. You know, instantaneously. And then here's an exterior shot of the building, which probably has a roof. We don't need to worry about it. So, wondering... Proceed further into the Bureau Mark. It's going to take me a tiny bit of time to remember exactly how to get around. This building is kind of, you know, intentionally designed to be confusing, which is going to come up more and more as we play.
That's not mine, says the dead man. Okay.
Oh, right, the ones that are hanging aren't combatants, they're just present. Yeah, the fact that this isn't hitting any frame dipping or anything right now is actively impressive to me. That's not my original experience. Like, it wasn't, like, unplayable or anything like that, but this is really smooth. I'm glad I've been kind of saving this for this. That was a mod. So weapons have quite a bit of customization in this. So we'll go with this because it's the only one. It's ammo refund on hit 7%. Eventually that's going to go nuts. Like, there's a lot that we're going to be able to do with this. Especially when we get, let's say, other options. These are safe rooms. Important shelters. Those boxes are going to be pretty much everywhere. That guy's an employee. Got collectibles, everything else. So I want to say we're off in this direction now. Yeah, central executive.
The hissing sound that tried to invade me earlier.
I love that treatment.
Burrowing into everything in this place. Is the hiss your enemy? Alright, it's our enemy.
Again, this is still the same building. Like, we're inside. We haven't gone anywhere else. Fairly sure we're already getting some work out of that refund chance on hit, which is really good. I would like to not immediately eat it. Coming straight off of Ghostbusters, the other stream, I need to remember that I'm not quite as cartoony in this game. I need to make sure that I'm not just throwing myself into fatal danger. Not that I wasn't getting beaten down by some ghosts then too, but it's still important. I love these overlays so much. Like, this is essentially an objective marker.
Cleanse the control.
So we are going to fix the building. That seems a little bit more right.
Holy shit. You did it. We did it.
Hello.
Yeah, the subtleties,
Can you hear me?
while still being wildly detailed on how the game gets you from
somebody
objective to
saying.
objective, is
Her feelings
one of my favorite
mutual.
parts.
Yeah, I'm Pope, Emily Pope. Dr. Darling's assistant.
My turn. Should I lie? Jesse Faye.
And then the internal monologue
I'm
all
just-
kind of comes off like it's going to
I
give you
should've lied.
dialogue tree options.
Shit.
There is some
You're the
selection
director.
that comes into play for certain stuff, but
We're
more
gonna
often
go.
than not, it isn't like answer A provides outcome A or anything like that. It is just dialogue options. So all of the stuff like her saying, should I lie, isn't really her talking to the player, it's her
Director.
character,
Faye.
which is
Call me
also
Jesse.
a really interesting writing
Okay,
style that I
Jesse.
haven't really seen
I'm
anywhere
Emily.
else.
Look, somehow this hostile force, this
Hiss?
that works. Somehow the hiss managed to infiltrate the building without any warning.
And just like that, my name for it is official. The
And now we
hiss.
have a name for the
Like the
combatants.
sound of poison gas leaking in.
We're in full lockdown. It seems to have spread everywhere and to everyone not protected by an HRA. And, extraordinarily, you. You are the director, and that makes you special by definition. Trench is no longer the director, obviously. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. This whole situation is just a lot.
I really deeply love how much of
Trench
this
is
is
dead.
just like this is part of their
Shot.
job, even though this one particular
Ah.
situation is a
found his
massive
body.
outlier.
And the gun. Do I tell her it looked like a suicide?
The service weapon.
Also, and this can sound crazy, but he keeps appearing
I
to
think
me.
given the fact that we're being spoken to by a
Saying
potential
things?
suicide victim is worth bumping our
It's
spooky
hard to make
rating
out,
up to
but he told me to
spoopy.
cleanse the
We've got a
control
level
point,
1 spook in progress.
push the hiss out. The whole room shifted around.
You did that? And you entered the building when it was already in the lockdown before you became the new director? How?
I'm not ready to tell her about you yet. A janitor let me in.
I love it. This is fucking unbelievable. It's
Oh,
I can't
just
even...
all of the character interaction,
Look, Jesse,
everything
I
about
have
it is
a million questions,
excellent.
and you probably have a million more.
Like, do you know my brother Dylan? Not yet.
But there's something I need to ask you to do first. If you can cleanse a control point, then you can maybe cure those infected or possessed by the hiss. Because if that's possible, our options are very different.
Emily Pope. I don't know her, but I like her already.
It's
She's the
hard to not
opposite
like
of the
Pope.
faceless agency I've blamed for what happened to me for so long. But I
I
can't
love
trust
all
her
of
yet.
the narrative hooks getting
Or
kind
rather,
of
the
baked
Bureau
into
she's a
her
part of.
self-doubting
Yes.
internal dialogue.
I can try. I'm speaking for you, of course. We can try it together.
It's just a very compelling way
Okay.
to write a game narrative.
You with me? We did it before. Push the hiss out.
Alright, so we're gonna go save that one employee who's still taking some kind of a break. Alright, he's down here. Average go to place activity.
It didn't work. The hiss has burrowed too deep. Ripping it out rips them apart.
There you are.
Jesse, over here.
I can't cleanse them.
I saw. It was worth a shot. Thank you, Director. Jesse.
I love that just like that, the possibility for a particular type
I'm gonna
of,
tell her why I'm here.
collection objective or, progression
Listen,
objective for the game is intentionally
Bureau
written out
was
as like, no,
involved
you
in an
cannot save these people.
incident
It is not
in
an
my
option. It
hometown,
doesn't work.
Ordinary. 17 years ago. The Bureau came in and covered the whole thing up. I've been looking for this place for a long time. That's enough. Maybe that's too much already. I can't tell her about Dylan and the rest yet.
I've seen mentions of an Altered World event case dealing with Ordinary.
And I love that she is from a town called Ordinary.
As a child? It was one of the big ones, and before my time. And very classified. I can try to dig out some old files for you. My boss, Casper Darling, would know, but he's missing. I think he knew this was coming, or suspected. He came up with the HRAs, the Hadron Resonance Amplifiers.
There's going to be quite a bit of heavy dialogue at the beginning, but it's going to open up a little bit more once we get through this initial stuff as well.
The ghost, or whatever he is, he mentioned something called the hotline. Said I should find it.
It's another object of power, like the gun, an old Bakelite telephone. A direct line of communication between the director and the board.
I'm enamored with the story as well, so forgive me for not being chatty the entire time.
Trench has years and years of experience. He might know how to destroy the hiss.
Where is the hotline?
It's kept in the communications department through the mailroom. It's part
Especially
of the sector,
considering
so
the fact that ducking
is
isn't working right now. I really got to figure that
We'll
out.
get the door open for you.
Okay, that's my next stop.
That's Tomasi's department. He's the head of communications. I don't think he had an HRA. He kind of made a point about not wearing one earlier. Keep an eye out.
They call me the director.
That's an exterior view, so once again...
I'm not a director type. I'm not a leader.
We're just looking up towards the totally normal roof of the totally normal building.
I think you already know. Yes, I came for my brother, but there are other reasons too. I said I was looking for answers, but I might never understand them. I'm not looking for proof. This is already it. More than enough. No matter what they told me all those years,
Love this room. God, just all these reveals.
I didn't imagine this.
Yeah, Myth, I'm pretty positive that that is like part of the very intentional reference.
What scares me shitless is that
there's going to be a lot more direct explanation through cutscene, and I want to talk about the story, but at the same time I don't want to spoil too much of it, even though I know you're already familiar with chunks of it, if anybody else pops in, or if anybody's watching VODs, or whatever else. But there's reasons for that inspiration, if that is exactly it. And it certainly wouldn't surprise me if it was.
I know this is all new to you, so don't hesitate to ask me anything you want to know. There are no stupid questions.
So we can talk to NPCs.
The hotline should
there
be
aren't
in the
going to be a
communications
ton of them, but it will have a fair amount of stuff. That said, all of these are going to cut into longer dialogue, and most of it is just kind of extensive. So I'll go into certain stuff, but I don't want to sit through like every dialogue option for every character just because that's not the point of this particular playthrough.
You mentioned
But I do
the
definitely
oldest
want to talk
house.
more about the building.
What is it?
This building, the Bureau headquarters, the oldest house, is a shifting place. You've seen it. It transcends its physical limits.
I've been to New York a few times.
Outright. I knew it was directly.
How didn't I notice this place?
It's an attribute of the building. This is a place of power. The oldest house doesn't like attention, so unless you're purposely trying to find it, you don't, which is perfect for us. The work we do here is essential, but unstable. The Bureau prefers not to be noticed. And we need strong walls to make sure nothing gets out.
So without you, I never would have found the front door. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the main one I want to go through right now. I'm glad that explanation is right up front. It is
I'm sure I'll have
literally,
more
this
questions.
building is always here.
Just
You
let me know.
cannot see it. And it's not that you can't see it, it's that the building doesn't want to be noticed, so it's just so inconspicuous it could just kind of be anywhere. And it is a matter of the exterior physical limitations of the building don't matter at all. It is just a matter of, like, this is the space that's required, this is what we're finding in it. Occasionally there are portions of the building that, you know, probably could have been noticed before, but weren't, even by the people that are supposed to be inside of it. There's a lot of stuff like that, which I really dig.
There it is again.
Our welcome
I do want
message.
to make sure I'm opening stuff like this just in case we end up getting particular stuff. Oh, so that is an item called Undefined Reading, which is a crafting material for upgrades, but it's called what it's called, which I love. I think that's outstanding. It's like, no, nothing here is particularly normal. And then it's a fair bet that pretty much anybody that you encounter out in the wild is going to be a combatant and not particularly, like, oh no, you accidentally shot a civilian. The hiss is not great, and it is very thorough. So we could try to go this way, but we probably shouldn't. Intentional. That is a demonstration of how, you know, somewhat obviously there's a lot of very intentional signaling on where you can and cannot go and where you should not go. That stuff will obviously be fixed. But anyway, we're going to the communication department. And that should still be out and in the same direction we just went. And I think, yeah, the crates remain open.
Our welcome message.
Arguably a little bit better, I think. I don't remember if he gave me an actual drop last time or not. So that's not bad. It isn't super necessary, especially since right now we don't have any extra slots or anything like that. But, like I said, I want to grab what I can to make sure that I have options for when the time does, in fact, come. Come all the way down. Alright, so right now, we're going up this way. This is another thing I like, too. The building is confusing enough where you can just keep the map up if you prefer. Just excellent. If I remember right, there's quite a bit in this room that I'm not going to be able to access for a while. Shields recharge over time or only after they're broken. Luckily we have unlimited ammo to work with, so it's not an enormous problem. But I also don't want to be dragging too much if I can help it. Absolutely blasted. We're gonna fix another room, cleanse another control point. And these are gonna become fast travel points, which it's a modern game, so it's not like that's surprising or anything. And yeah, I really like the ammo counter being around the reticle the way it is almost certainly a way to keep up how minimal the entire thing is. I don't know if it actually wants me to fast travel right now or not. Navigate through the communications department. Okay, so we are just going to keep going this way.
Communications. We're on the right track.
he's been killed by jars.
Object of power.
Oh, yeah, okay, so we're getting our first object of power here. These are great. Like, when I mention Warehouse 13, this is the biggest portion of what I'm talking about, referential-wise, or reference-wise, rather. Is this whole thing a movable object? Yeah, it does make sense, considering some stuff that's going to happen later. Anyway, let's avoid getting killed by our mystery over here. Still don't have a clearance pass. I say going up was a solid decision when I did this initially. Relatively. Up and around. So yeah, just heading directly to it's not going to do it. So anyway, the thing killing people by throwing pneumatic mail tubes at them is this giant floppy disk. As you do.
It's harder to hear you when I'm here. It's like the channel's been changed. The board's in charge here. They're pyramids in Bureau seal. Are they really the ones pulling the strings?
So not only did we
I'm not
just
their director.
save that, but now we have a new ability. Which is why those physics objects have been quite permanent. And this is just the first of quite a good few abilities that we're going to be unlocking. You know, provided we don't miss our jumps. And I really appreciate how violent the telekinesis is. Like, you are not gently picking these objects up. You are, like, ripping them free and throwing them. The impacts are sold very well. The weight of the objects getting kind of pulled back to you. Springing backwards past the camera boundaries and everything. And I do naturally have access to the service weapon as well. But why not play with the new toys? And just like everything else, it is on the same kind of intrinsic cooldown. So you don't have to worry about picking up resources for combat. As far as I'm remembering, there might be other particular things that get unlocked later on that do have renewable resources, but as far as I'm aware, that is not a factor.
There you are. You were gone. Cut off. I got it. Just like you wanted, right? This will help me fight the hiss.
So now we have a lot more combat prowess at our disposal. You can do some really fun stuff in combination. These enemies don't just take damage, they actually get knocked down, which means there is periods of time where they're not able to actually fight back against you. Which means you're doing quite a bit to keep your guard up, keep them under control. Ah, that's the title of the game. All of that.
Emily said that the hotline can be reached through the
Say
map.
the moves down this way. Yes. So go through that way. I love how the game does a good job of making sure that you know what areas you can't get to because of the environmental storytelling of this massive, horrifying lockdown. Excuse me. Benches are anti-shield weapons. Alright. This is here leading to, yeah, more collectible writing, but I'm pretty positive this is also how I'm getting into the mailroom. No, actually, I do not want to go in there just yet. That is bad stuff that will do bad things to me. I'm pretty sure... There we go.
Locked. Maybe there's a key nearby.
There we go.
This must open the door.
And then if we do this, we're going to get a nice little checkpoint just in case I get completely jobbed by combat in the next room. And more fast travel just in case.
They can fly now.
Now we've got all this going on as well. I do believe that's not great. Let's take some cover before we get killed. What's interesting, too, is this guy is a boss fight, but he is essentially just going to become a class of enemy later on. So the weird ways he's floating and dodging is not necessarily unique to him, it just is right now. Right now I'm moving in and out of cover to make sure that I'm picking up the health pips that they're dropping. Because otherwise I'm going to get killed really quick. There should be other mooks around somewhere too. Unfortunately, there aren't really any other options. That one. They whip in really quick. I'm pretty positive eventually I'm also going to get a dodge maneuver as well. I just don't have access to it right now. And that's exactly why I cleansed that, though, because that's where it ended up placing that particular checkpoint. I think the first time I went through, I did not notice that that was over there, and ended up having to backtrack a fair amount.
They can fly. Great.
I also really appreciate the fact that you can basically just hold the telekinetic button, and chances are pretty good the game will find something for you to throw. You don't really have to worry too much about, like, oh no, there's nothing in front of me. It's like, yeah, there probably is. Which is good, because it basically effectively gives you a unique form of infinite ammo. Where is Tomasi? There is Yeah. I did forget how quickly you take damage. Which is mitigatable later on. Right now my tool set is just very low. And I kind of appreciate the fact that the game isn't afraid to pull punches. Especially with how experimental a lot of the different mechanics can be. Yeah. Really fast. What else do we have here? Oh, hey, I'll take extra damage on low health. That sounds perfect. Well, ideally, we're going to shave him down that much quicker. That's a good extra chunk. Got him. Or, got him for the purposes of this encounter. We chased him off. This guy's a mailroom clerk, by the way.
I have a feeling he'll be back. Let's stay focused. The hotline should be past the mailroom.
So yeah, he just, like, went up there. I know. Finally, you have a mailroom role model.
Alright, take this down. The situation in Cuba has been evaluated by the relevant
These I
authorities.
might let
The
run.
mysterious
It depends on
illness
how
affecting the
long
staff
they're gonna
at
go.
The U.S. Embassy in Havana was caused by sonic weaponry in the hands of a foreign
I do have
power.
access to
Numerous
them.
personnel have damage to the inner ear, but most are expected.
There's some of the menuing that I just went through.
Of course, the event also damaged the
A
cellular
fair amount of it. Again, it's a very
noise gun.
intense game as far as additional story is concerned.
Ahead
All
of
of which is, again, extremely good.
The hiss got him.
This is definitely how your mailroom should look, though. By the way, you're not pulling your weight enough. Gotta get way more tubes. I'm not gonna go out of my way to grab stuff, but if it's
The
in front of
hotline
me,
can't
I'm
be
gonna
far
grab it.
now.
I just can't help myself. These notwithstanding, I'm talking about the files and additional collectibles and stuff like that, but materials are actually going to be necessary for the playthrough. Ooh, and we're getting the hotline chamber. This is a very good room. I'm a fan. All we gotta do is go answer the phone.
The Ocean View Motel and Casino. Dream logic. The light switch cord.
I'm gonna let this run.
The door marked with the black pyramid.
So stand here. This way is death. Like that is a bottomless pit. Phone's over there. So naturally, we're gonna just shift stuff a tiny bit. And you'll notice the notice, Ocean View Motel and Casino entry point. The law of 3 applies. 2, 3.
Have we been here before?
So now we're in the motel.
I've
Just
stayed
as
at
expected.
A lot of roadside motels across the country, on the road, on the run, under
And
the
we want to go
radar.
into this room,
This feels like
but we can't right now.
all of them.
So we're just going to need to check a little bit more of the
something
motel out.
recognized from a dream.
Bearing in mind we're just still at work. Nothing particularly unusual going on.
Hello? Anyone here?
So, a little bit of a cue. If I'm remembering right. Okay, no. That was not the rule of 3s that we needed to apply. But we do have an open door.
The key has a black
Alright,
pyramid
this is the
on it.
very simple kind of intro to the motel. But don't you worry. All of this other uninteractable stuff will almost certainly come up again in the future. So there's a painting of us looking at the phone that was in the bottomless pit room. we're just gonna click once, twice, and 3 times. So now we're out of the motel. We can answer the... These are all normal sentences that I'm saying, in an order that makes logical sense. Once again, the natural extension of what we've been doing so far. So now we're dealing with what's going on here at present. I can't remember if this one is going to pursue or not. It is, but only when I'm on that direct spot. So we don't want to touch that. I'm sure I didn't need to explain that, but touching that would be bad. So we're just going to do our best to avoid that. And any other such that's that we might come across. Luckily, they don't know how to cross gaps, which is fine. Well dialed. So now we're going to answer the phone.
It is a phone. It's an object of power. It doesn't connect to any typical network. A direct line to the astral plane and the board.
Normal training videos.
And my hypothesis is, under the right conditions, to other planes of existence as well.
Also, I'm glad that as I worked, the rice cooker went off. That's perfect.
A director needs a team. My management team. These people know the secrets of the Bureau as well as I do. Some even better. Darling, Tomasi, Salvador, Marshall. Marshall especially, my head of operations. She sees right through me. She knows I don't like relying on people. The only person you should fail is yourself. But things change when you become director.
More very relevant training. It's all nice and important.
I have it. The hotline. I can reach Trench. Well, listen to him. He feels more like an...
And now the hotline is how we replay those particular
I need to get back to
previous director clips in the collections.
People
so that is an object of power that we now have in our inventory.
When I tell them about you. Is it too soon to tell Emily? She might be able to help.
So this door was absolutely here before. And now we're back in the office. With more files that weren't here before. And Trench's body is probably somewhere that it needs to be. Just gonna keep on progressing. We're gonna go talk to Emily, and we're gonna get more of this sorted out.
Jesse, did you get the hotline? I mean, how is it out there? The comms, the hiss? Sorry.
We've done quite a lot in quite a little time.
She's saying now.
Incredible. What did he say?
He talked about his management team. People who knew the Bureau's secrets. Your boss, Darling. Tomasi, but he's gone. He's gone.
He killed me once.
Salvador?
He's the head of security.
And Marshall?
Helen Marshall is head of operations. She's tough, ex-CIA. She took her Rangers and went to the research sector to secure the HRA production. She hasn't come back.
Someone who could help us. The other sectors. How do I get there?
It's impossible because of the internal lockdown. You can perform a directorial override to lift it, but that can only be done in the maintenance sector.
So it sounds like we're going to go to the maintenance
Normally,
sector.
you take the sector elevator down there. It connects all the sectors, but it won't work while the lockdown is in effect.
We already got past one lockdown. Maybe I can find a way.
Jesse, look, with no prep, no training in this extreme situation, you are doing phenomenally well. And all that and the hiss can't seem to affect you. I mean, I would love to run some tests on you. If you agree, that is. We could find out something that would help us.
I feel like maybe tests isn't the most trustworthy thing
She
to
might
request
find out about you.
this immediately.
But I wouldn't mind understanding more myself. Okay. If you think it will help.
Great. I'll check the internal documentation for
The
any
Pope is
lockdown bypasses.
delightful.
We need to get these sectors open to locate Darling and Marshall.
And I'll look for a way inside the maintenance sector. The sooner we find one, the sooner I reach this override.
I love how ominous the exterior shots of the building are, even though, as far as I'm aware, after that opening cutscene, you never go outside. Also, remember, we were told when we entered that we would be working under the janitor. So we're going to go down to the maintenance department and see if we can figure out a little bit more about that. It is remarkable how good and ominous all of this extremely simple camera work, just based on these settings, work. All that is just some camera panning. Doesn't need anything else.
Do you hear that? Someone's singing. Where's it coming from? Hi, Jesse.
We have something new. That's fine. I'm not worried about those still.
Thanks, Emily. I'm sure I'll have more questions soon.
Just let me know.
So we're gonna go check on some upgrades, because we've been picking stuff up.
Sounds like it's coming from the elevator.
20 feet. Bullshit. We've never reported any distance over 5.
So we have health, energy, melee, and launch damage. I think given how much we've been taking damage, it would be pertinent to go for health for right now. In fact, I'm going to do that twice. Just get a running start on not taking as much damage. And then that also unlocks some more
data
for our service weapon. But not for anything that we can use just yet. Personal mods that we have. So we can either boost basic health or heal more per pickup. I think it's going to be a little bit more pertinent right now to pick up more per, because I've been doing a decent enough job of knocking it out of enemies. Do I have any outfits right now? No, I don't. Okay, that's fine. So we need to go where the elevator cannot bring us. Which I believe might mean talking to another person.
What happened to Booker, to Smith, the others? Why did they start acting?
I don't actually remember if I went into this shelter either. This is where Pope came out. I don't know if I agree with that, Shadow. The nostalgia department.
Hope has asked us to document the hiss incantation.
Now, we did get notice on...
Time to work.
Yeah, there we go.
Meet me in the maintenance.
Like I said before, the janitor is a friendly face.
Pictured. A friendly face. So we're gonna go explore that Mako reactor.
The maintenance sector is the janitor domain. If I can find Ahti here, he can help me reach the override. Maybe it was you who got me into the oldest house with the lockdown on. Maybe it was Ahti.
I don't remember how much
It felt like he made the elevator
stuff
appear
I
to take
have
me to
direct
Trench's
access
office.
to
Is Ahti guiding me too?
at present. But I think right now I'm basically just going to be progressing.
The directorial override is right there, in the control room. How do we get there?
Deeply appreciate all the atmosphere. I really can't get over it, even on a second playthrough of these opening bits. It's just so remarkably good. Getting pretty good at aiming based on the health bars is certainly helpful. Go ahead and cleanse here. And we're starting on the maintenance sector. I'm like fascinated to know how they lined up the geometry for making those transitions so clean. 'Cause every time you look at it, you expect to see some kind of a problem with it, and there just isn't anything. I also love these service posters. Like, this kind of morphing of the oldest house as an office space is part of the workplace. It isn't necessarily just based on the hiss. The hiss just caused everything to kind of go out of control. The hiss is a controlling force, but it is not what's causing the other objects of power directly, as far as I'm aware, to, like, rebel or anything. It just helped contain, or it helped breach the containment. So all of this other stuff is just stuff that the oldest house can and sometimes does do. Which, you know, essential services. Threshold Remnant. That. Consecutive kills boost, I remember being pretty potent, but I'm not quite done shaking off the rust right now, so I don't think it's gonna
What's down that way?
be worth a lot. Finding another. I love that. You can see the shadow of the object of power from all the way back there. You don't get the clearest look at what it is, even though you can sort of gather. Just like the lighting, the fact that there's this much character and menace and detail to what is effectively just a bunch of gray stone blocks
makes me nauseous.
is so cool.
An object of power. How do you think it got down here?
Oh, missed that jump. Oh.
A carousel horse. Why is kid stuff always so creepy?
So we're just gonna cleanse this horse. There we go. And now we got our dodge. Oh. Oh man, alright. Timing on that's really tight. There we go. We're gonna be using it in midair a lot. That's unfortunate. I'm pretty positive there's going to be things to increase the distance and the amount of evades that you're capable of doing. So there's going to be more of that as well. I don't know if I need to do this way, but I'm going to give myself just a bit of a height boost. There we go. And we cannot fight these guys. So we are just escaping.
Let's see the hiss keep up with me now.
And I love this too. Like, that was a spiritual realm that we were just in, or an astral plane rather. But now we're back where the horse itself was, which means that this is a real part of the actual building. Which, I really love the implications of how unusual that is. There. And now we're back. Bearing in mind that this is the room that we fell through initially, it's totally fine. So we've got our dodge back. And then the poster of the position that he is standing in is such a great detail.
Well done. You got the job. It's place for congratulations. Yippee, saatana. It happened in the last drop. I truly need an assistant.
Funny thing is, I've been a janitor. I'm more at home in that role than as the director. Only Ati here seems to see that.
Yeah, hi, Ati. Look, we need to get the lockdown lifted, otherwise I can't get to the other sectors. Can you help me get to the override?
Yes, yes. Easy peasy. It's just around the corner. But first, we need to get you working. Very small, couple of hours job.
Something tells me it's gonna be more than that.
Well, luckily not a couple hours.
Aha, you think there's a dog buried in this? I can tell you are not yesterday's Krause's son. That's why.
By the way, now that
assistant.
combat and dialogue and a couple other major events have happened, how is the audio balance holding up right now? Is the game comfortably audible but not overpowering? I imagine you would have told me if you couldn't hear me, but I want to make sure that we're doing good.
A bad one.
Okay, cool. So yeah, like I said, Ghostbusters the other day was borderline inaudible once I checked the VOD again, so I want to make sure that the game is coming through more clear than that. And we'll figure out ducking afterwards.
He's starting to feel the band around his head tighten. The situation needs to be fixed before the plant blows up. And we all disappear like a fart in Sahara.
Trying my best to keep up with this. Fix the coolant pumps and the power generators, otherwise the power plant will blow.
The confidence that they have in their very good models and facial animation to pull close-up animations like that is
the end of the thread before
very
I
good.
go to my vacation. The work's on the task board here. You can do later, when you have time.
Vacation? Right.
Yes, no one's gonna cancel my holiday or seat's gonna rattle. But don't worry at all. You'll take care of it, and soon this crisis gonna be last winter's snow.
I love the folksy.
You better go now. So
It's
you
like
don't
whatever
have to run
nationality is going on.
The door in the back leads to the plant.
The door in the back. That's great. Thank you, Ati.
And so now we've got the level 2 pass. We could backtrack to go through another door. We're not going to worry about that right now. Open up supply crates. Check some more doors. And actually, this might be what I was thinking of. Yeah, this is the backtracking I was thinking of. So never mind. We don't have to do that. That was the other thing. Alright, we're doing good.
It's time for a coffee.
Okay, so what happens again if that thing blows up?
Power. Explosion. Too much. Director's duty. Keep the lights on.
That explains it. I'm pretty sure that anytime one of those visions happens, the hotline version is longer and more cohesive. Like, each one gets a cinematic, but the cinematic itself doesn't play during normal gameplay. It's kind of like how a lot of audio logs will give you the option to listen to it on the spot, but if you open it up, you'll get like a whole cinematic or something like that. Like the ODST audio logs having visuals to them. In a way, at least. Right, so these guys are our buddies. So they've got the anti-hiss vests on.
Are you new? Then go talk with Chief Arish in the security booth. He's in charge here.
Really quick. I want to go check this shelter out. Probably just going to be a supply crate. Heck yeah, actually, of course it's just a supply crate. This is the thing I said I wasn't going to do. So let's not keep worrying about doing that.
It's dangerous out here, lady. Go see Chief Arish. He's just inside. He'll help you.
Ma'am! Hey! Chief Arish, happy...
They all have HRAs. We're on the same side. My name is Jessie Faden. I'm here to perform the directorial override to get the lockdown lifted.
Yeah, Chief Arish, FBC Security. I've just... Oh, hang on, you're the new director. It's a pleasure, ma'am.
Let's skip the formalities, please.
Right. Faden, ma'am. Look, as you can probably tell, it's a bit of a shit show down here. We've been holding our ground, but whatever's gotten into our buddies has them wrecking the coolant pumps and the power converters. The NSC keeps overheating, and my crews keep getting shot before they have a chance to make any repairs.
NSC?
Oh, sorry. Bureau jargon. It's what we call the power plant. You know, the big rumbling metal thing? Salvador, head of security, asked me to protect it in case of
I
an
do
attack.
deeply love the
What's
fact that
inside
the
is
power supply is a power
Darling seems to
supply.
be a target.
Darling, he's here?
And it might
No, it
explode.
came down a few
And
days
that's
ago
pretty much
before
all we
everything
know
went
about
down.
it.
He was out of it. He smelled like a bar mat. He was ranting about vulnerabilities and how he only had one large-scale HRA, but that he needed it somewhere else. Still, at least he gave us these personal HRAs before he left. Hey, did I mention that he was tearing his clothes off? Crazy dude.
Darling knew the hiss was coming.
Listen, I love playing 20 questions as much as the next guy, but we have got to get the water and electrical systems repaired before this baby blows. I'll have my guys unlock the doors out of here for you.
I'll take care of it. You stay and keep the hiss away from the plant if you can.
The hiss? That's what we're calling him? Well, that's catchy. Oh, listen, the radios aren't working, so if you find my boss Salvador out there, could you please ask him what the plan is? I'm sure he will have one by now.
I'll keep an eye out for him. He sure has a lot of faith in his
I am genuinely unable to remember if Salvador is just completely fucking gone or not. Anyway, let's go fix some mystery power plant. Remembering, of course, that this is still, in fact, the same building.
Keeping my eyes open.
So
We ain't out of the woods
we are
yet.
going up. To go up and around. Generally towards the red, glowing, ominous shit. That taken care of. One of the better moves, in my opinion, being able to yank a physics object through the back of an opponent so that it hits them twice, if you're able to line it up. It's not super easy to do that, because sometimes you're not necessarily grabbing the thing you exactly want, but it is possible, and it is powerful, because it does damage them 2 times. Here's what I was talking about with Mr. Mailroom. We now have this type of hiss in general. Much more squirrely than I remember being. Excuse me, can you please? Thank you. Not overtly necessary combat. That said, I feel like there's a control point near here that I should grab before I drill all the way down there. Up on this portion somewhere, I believe. I won't look for it for too long, but fast travel is something that I do want to make sure that I have access to. There you are. All right. Now we're on. No, we're not. I accidentally overshot. We want to go this way. I want the energy converters. We can go this way too, though, I believe. Oh, I like the fact that it calls that area out already. That's nice. Also, I guess we are going this way. We got another control point as it is. That is also quite helpful. A little bit of light psychic puzzle solving too. What's going on in here? Presumably nothing horrifying. I'm sure all of that is just fine. things we'll probably take care of at some point. The ominous rumbling in response to what looks to be some kind of horrifying mushroom overgrowth is something. Maybe not horrifying, but...
It's fried up. You need to fix it
No.
before the old twig bats inside the plant has a shit fit.
There we go. There's a fair amount of combat in here, if I'm remembering correctly. Fallback point, just in case. Party points, it's fine. You need those. Actions exposed. Oh, shit. Let's see. I was definitely right about remembering a lot of combat in this room. As I go, maybe it's a little bit safer. Luckily, I don't think there's as many power cells as there are actual sockets that need them. Now you're not.
Power fixed. Now let's fix the pumps and water flow.
Alright, so that's electrical taken care of. Grab you while we're at it. Nothing we can do about this yet. That's fine. In a weird way, this is a lightly Metroid-inspired room or game as well. It's interesting too. I wonder if I can just go to the Black Rock Quarry right now. The button certainly implies it. So now south. This is the most direct way to do that. Ventilation. So that's the power converters. So I believe I actually want to go back up here. Some more turnaround happening. Yeah, those are the control points. Ventilation. Janitor's office. We need to go this way. Oh, but this way is still locked. Uh-oh. I'm turned around. That might mean that it is actually time for Blackrock, but there is also access through the janitor's office, at least according to the map. So let me see if I can find anything in this direction. Oh, I don't think it's right.
Director Faden.
Oh, there we go. Just overcomplicating it. Oh, right, those guys. The, deeply uncomfortable living jump scares. Oh, God. Really not a fan of them. In that I am greatly a fan of them. They're very good at their jobs. God, what a good intro to that. Just that sudden, oh God, oh no, oh fuck, what are those? Just gonna keep on going towards. Excuse me. Oh, that one already plugged in. Which I believe means we do want to open that. I think we want to go in here first. No, this is just optional. I guess it is just time for combat in here. Oh, good. More charged. Floaters. If you're quick, you can actually hit them with telekinetically thrown objects, which I appreciate. Take back some more of the building. We have two directions we can go now. Except in this direction, I don't think we can yet. I feel like it's too hot. There was something to do with this area that I don't know if I can actually tackle just yet or not. I'm trying to remember what it is. I might just need to come back here after the fact. So yeah, there's nothing active in here right now, so that's fine. I do know that this is a room that we do directly interact with, so it's not like some kind of unusual mystery or anything like that. Missed. actually don't remember coming up here. That's cool. I think it's just a little bonus. Not a suitable lock. That's fine. Just keep at it.
We need to fix this thing ASAP.
I want to say that's an exit out. There's quite a bit of verticality in this portion, if I'm remembering correctly. Alright. So we have to find some power bricks.
Bro, go to shift. Fix it fast. If the plant goes boom, we can throw the spoon in the core.
Fairly certain there's going to be a good couple of those. Okay, down below. That makes sense. Short hops. I think that's everything right now, combat-wise. There's gonna be more. There's gonna be more, I think, every time I activate one of the generators. Or batteries, or what have you. Those ones. File. That's not good. I think that was fall damage, which I admittedly forgot there was, which is dumb because, you know, just because you have telekinetic movement doesn't necessarily mean you're immune to gravity. Just barely hearing the exploding ones is almost worse than hearing them full volume. This way. There you are.
Shit. What now?
My old enemy, the clock, is blocking the pipes. You need to deal with that shit. He's very clever.
Oh shit. I think I got can't remember if that was the clog taking me out or if I got snuck up on from behind. Neither option is my favorite. This is fine. We're not far off. Now I remember where everything is at.
Oh, this place is gonna come down.
It also looks like it maintains combat destruction too. So yeah, all of the generator stuff is already still taken care of. It's just a spawn point related thing. definitely leads me to believe that I got snuck up on by one of the exploders. What are you doing? Okay, that should be fine. Over plumbing issues. Just gotta take care of that first. The fact that Ati refers to this as a recurring problem is uncomfortable to think about. Great. There's also you. I think that might already be all of it.
We need to hurry.
Yeah, okay, we're good. Dodge efficiency. That's certainly a helpful one waiting. Battery. Foolishly thought it might have respawned earlier.
All blew up. Let's go lift the lockdown.
Fairly certain there's one more particularly potent encounter that we're hitting just now. Yeah. Oh god. Oh, there we go. That was needlessly dangerous. given everything that's going on, I'm going to bump us up to Spook Watch level 2. So I think as soon as we have a minigun-toting hiss-possessed, we are in imminent danger of skeletons. That's just the way it works. Okay, that counts as imminent danger. Oh! Right. You're a teammate.
Let's do this.
I forgot that that happened. It's actually pretty damn cool. Starting to get named opponents too. I don't remember exactly how much that amplifies, but it's not nothing. Ah, you suck. Got completely flanked. I'm assuming that agreement was the spooky rating and not anything actually pertaining to the very cool video game. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Here. Oh, that's not ideal. I'd like to go up the way that I was supposed to.
This thing ASAP.
Which also means I'm gonna check my equipable loadouts to see if I can do a little bit more about ammo efficiency right now versus just raw health. I can put a clean in here. Doesn't seem like it. For the elevator. All right. Let's go you. You're plus 20. But you're plus 24. I really don't have anything damage-wise. So I guess we just kind of gotta do better. That's fine. Alright, let's try this again. You're gonna need to not do that again. Just have the two named enemies left now. One enemy. Oh, nope, alright, another round. Is that it? Thanks, oh, thank goodness. There we go. I don't know if we protected that security guard or not. We certainly tried.
Blockages in pipe C through F. Is the clock back? When the converters and coolant pumps are working again, we should be able to get this baby back down to a safe temperature. I hope.
What exactly?
Yeah, might as well do a little bit more lore.
Listen, I only know what Salvador told me, but I know it generates all the electricity for the Bureau, and it's got two very simple rules. Rule 1, keep it below a certain temperature. Rule 2, don't ever, ever open it. Oh, and 3, it's classified, so I shouldn't ask.
Sounds like secrets are standard operating procedure around here.
Oh, yeah. It's all part of the job.
Okay.
I should be going. Try to stay
Right.
alive.
You gotta lock down the lift.
See, I thought that this was where I was doing that. So let's... Oh, that's right.
Is the clock back? Now? Oh man, Nadia's gonna be so pissed.
I have to go back to that control room. Okay. Energy converters, ventilation, control room. I know there's a different way to actually get to the control room. This is where it spat me out. Let's try some fast travel. Oh, right, and abilities. See, energy, melee damage, and launch damage. Just a bit extra. Let's do that because I'm pretty positive that is now, yeah, gonna give me access to that one. So that'll be helpful when the time comes. Ooh, and we finally have access to these now, too. Let's go with you. And I want to be going... Converter's entrance. So, yeah, I think we want to go over this way. We'll see anyway. What am I spacing out here? Really fast. There we go. So now, I have to remember the button to put for it. We have a different configuration of the service weapon. Shatter, which is a shotgun. It is beefy. I forgot how much punch the sound had. Appreciate that design work. But I don't think... Oh no, here we go. Here we go. We are where we need to be. That it's literally just the same gun, or the same object, I should say, in differently configured patterns for differently configured functions is a really great detail. I'm a huge fan of that. Have the control room back in order.
Forces contain a lockdown.
We're just gonna listen to Trench really fast.
Directorial override.
And we're gonna lift the override. And it turns out that the service weapon is also a key. Got another new area coming up.
That's it. The other sector should be open now.
We'll be back here
It's time
later.
I told Emily.
But for right now, we're going back to Central Executive. Let's
They're saying Trench was shot dead.
talk.
The situation's getting worse.
Jesse, you made it. And you lifted the internal lockdown.
You gotta
Let's talk,
work.
Emily.
Yes, of course.
Give me that. How dare you keep this from me?
Listen, Emily. Screw it. Just tell her. I haven't been completely honest. I have a younger brother, Dylan. When we were kids, we found an old slide projector in Ordinary's landfill.
We're getting
The
more
slides
backstory
created
now.
doorways to other places. Bad things happened. Came through. That's all she gets. The rest stays locked inside. But we found help. Through one of the doorways, we met something. A being.
A being? What kind of being?
It's hard to describe, but she helped us. We managed to turn
We
the
got some
projector
more
off.
story about the
The
kaleidoscope,
bad things
too.
that came through the doorways were gone. After that, your people came. Tried to grab us. I ran away. They got Dylan. I left him behind.
Bureau agents took your brother?
Yes. He covered it up. No one believed me. I just want to find Dylan. I've been looking for him ever since.
What happened to the slide projector? It sounds like another object of power.
I thought you took it. The Bureau. Along with Dylan.
I've never heard of it. But around here, assume everything's classified.
I really appreciate the good backstory. Like, the fact that all of this is out of her just kind of like permanently trying to find this place and finally getting here just as all of this insane psychic bullshit is happening is really great. Oh, you're talking about the scale. I'm not bumping the scale up for the spoopy.
Let's hope you
In
keep
fact,
it
I'm
alive.
downgrading it.
She's been
Because
with me
you're
ever
not paying
since
attention.
Ordinary. In my head.
So there.
She led me to you. I call her Polaris.
As in a guiding star. Did Polaris know about the hiss? If she got you in here in spite of the lockdown, she's very powerful. Which may help explain your test results.
And we're getting these
Your
test
readings
results.
are incredible, Jesse.
Your midichlorian
Now,
counts are off the
cross-referencing
chart.
in the database, I found 2 matches in Darling's old classified files. Unfortunately, I can't access them beyond the file codes. But one was P6, referring to a prime
I'm
candidate
actually
for
going
a
to bump the
potential
level down
future
one more
Bureau
because
director.
we're just having this nice long
This was launched
conversation
years
with
ago.
Pope.
Dylan. Is that Dylan?
The other match is on something called Hedron, which must be connected to these Hedron resonance amplifiers somehow. All I know is that Marshall went to the research sector to secure
Now,
the
when you
HRA
say
production after
divergent,
the Hiss
that could
first
mean
attack.
a lot of different things.
So, Marshall seems like our best lead on Dylan. I need to go after her. How can I get to the research sector?
Use my key card. The sector elevator will take you there.
Right, that's what I thought. I don't actually know anything about those books,
Marshall
but
is the next step.
we're gonna go find
What
Marshall
Emily
now.
told me about Ordinary, my powers being connected to things in the Bureau's past. I am so close to something. Do you feel it? Something's coming.
We take turns to come for a visit. I helped you. You owe me now. And when time comes, I will come calling.
Hati, I'm a little concerned. Alright, so now we have some extra stuff going on.
Hope has asked us to document the hiss incantation, she calls
We
it.
have
Like in person?
major targets in a particular area of maintenance, which I don't know why I'm not just fast traveling to. I was about to use the elevator like a scrub. We're going to grab the ability to throw explosives and rockets, because that's going to do some work for us. And we're going to do launch basic enemies, because that's also going to do some ragdolling, because it's not after they die, it's when their health is low, which is just going to help out damage. That's going to help out quite a bit. So now, we're going to go to the energy converters, which I guess energy converters entrance is the way to go. And as far as I'm aware, this is going to put a big beefy enemy or like a mob of enemies or something in here, and I believe we're going to get rewarded handsomely for dealing with it. Just got to make sure I'm going the right ways. Yeah, key his target. I'm also pretty sure that if I die during this, it's a failure. Like, that event will be gone. So I need to be cautious. I need to remember exactly how to deal with it. I'm not healing at the rate that they are. Oh yeah, you guys. Oh shoot, I need you to stay put. That's their healer gone. Again, relatively friend-shaped. Relatively safely. This is the guy. Like, we want to be taking rid of, or getting rid of this senior staff officer. And I'm getting critically low. There's also enemies all over the place. This is actually getting really rough. I need to take more cover back farther. Oh, no. No. Oh, that's bad. Oh, I'm definitely dead. Yep, there we go. Major targets failed. Man, that was just a damage flood. You know, it might still be a little bit too early to tackle stuff like that. Although it also doesn't help that I completely forgot about how those operate right away. Yeah, that's gone now. That's a shame, but that's okay. Fairly positive all I need to do is go to the main elevator, and I should be able to go to a new section. Let's try this again. Or not again, but let's do something new this time, rather. Progress. And I'm pretty sure we're going to research now. His clusters. The sphere is called a cluster. The implications of that are sort of upsetting when you think about it. I love this room. So once again, we're still just in the same building. It's a lot. Ritual division. Hey!
So,
it's Darling, it's our tutorial champion.
Anyway, I've been here for 24 years now. I've always been here. And through those years, we've made astonishing discoveries.
I love that cut.
Of great importance. And in all this work, there is one thing we know, and that's how little we truly know.
I feel like there's quite a bit of really good, weird live action footage in this portion of the storyline.
Assuming you have the necessary clearance, and do follow the safety protocols. Read the manual. Otherwise, bad things will happen.
I love that. Just that,
Research
otherwise...
sector, huh?
Yeah.
Home of the Bureau's mad scientists.
I'm fairly certain there's a point right nearby that I'm going to want to grab for the sake of not having to worry about travel quite as much right now. Oh! Right! You have, like, melee shit. Oof. Just barely. I think there's another active combatant around here somewhere. I thought I heard something anyway. Yeah, we got stuff like the projectors. Nice and uncomfortable. No, that's right. You go down there. We don't want to go down there yet. Down there is not great. I think there's some collectible stuff over in the cafeteria that we're not worried about. Right now. Oh, man. All right. Never mind. I need to backtrack. So much damage so quickly. This is just looping around to the same spot that I do not want to be. Okay, we're out of critical health at least, so that's good. Excuse me, I was reading? Cool. You stick. That's just a bunch. That should be everybody. But now we're dealing with these. Oh. There we go. And now we're entering parapsychology. Which, as per usual, just looks remarkably inviting.
She's in trouble. I need to reach her.
If I'm remembering right, we should be getting pretty close to a new actual tower as well. stop doing that. Oh, you know. I don't remember what's up with this guy. Jesus. Alright. God, like, just all the implications of these rooms. Disturb? Alright. Oh, hey. Why not? I feel weird about the fact that I haven't run over another control point yet. But I know we're getting close.
The astral plane. Similar to an iceberg, what you see is not what you always
Yep.
get. Regardless, this place is vitally important to the Bureau. Most information on the astral plane.
Let's watch this video during.
Keeping in mind that these are staggeringly complex systems, and simplification does them no justice. Now, the white.
Yeah, I think the guy in the cell is probably friendly.
The ever-present.
We might run back into him later, wherein we will become best of friends
The board.
with both of them.
All linked. Intrinsically tied to the oldest house, tied to the director, the process of choosing a director, tied to all objects of power in terms of who controls
I
them.
love how enthusiastic this actor always looks.
Yes.
Alright, so I feel a little safer now that we have that point set up. Got one of those. That'll actually be like good viewing material. Just want to make sure. So I love this. This is like a model of the astral plane, or like one location therein. Which I want a better look at, damn it. Maybe I can't stand on it. Either way, it's neat. But now we're gonna watch this.
An early hypothesis was that the mindscape of the astral plane is subjective. But that was fast proven wrong. It's an actual place, not a construct of the mind, even though it is with our minds that we enter and experience it. But then one could argue that that's the case with all reality. We've been able to record footage of the astral plane by monitoring the brain activity of those
And
experiencing.
I love that we
That is
start
the
to
only
kind of
concrete material that has
become
come out
more
of
and
the
more
astral
aware
plane
of what the
expedition.
astral plane is.
Apart from one shocking exception. In the astral plane footage, we're always in the vicinity of the pyramid. We've concluded that this, not the entire plane, is what the board controls. We have glimpsed movement, native species, always in the distance, and yet contact was made. We don't have footage of this, a technical malfunction, but when one of our astronauts returned, a brain cloud, an astral fugue, had hitchhiked a ride in his head. It ruptured out, killing the subject in question. It's a relentless predator, pursuing thoughts, minds, lethal to those
You know,
that
the friend-shaped things that we saw
Proper containment
before.
protocols are to be observed when dealing with it.
I love that, though. Questions? Answers? Just like literally anything. Like, please help explain all of this absolute nonsense to us. Okay, so we came in that way. We're going up this way. And we're gonna go
I can't believe they
do a little bit of science. In this extremely, extremely inviting looking room. Are you ready to encounter the friend? It's pretty remarkable how tense this part is. Oh, you're right. Let me make sure that we're aptly friendly at the moment. Gonna jump us right up to a level 2. And then proceed by getting the absolute fuck out of here. Man. I'm trying to remember precisely how to do this. I think we actually do want to just make sure all the exits are shut. God, this is a tense room though. Jesus, like just... I feel as though you are incapable of stopping anything at any point. Oh, that's... okay, come on, buddy. There we go. Alright. Friend contained.
Doing with that thing?
He's just in the special friendship room. One that makes me feel safe enough to downgrade to level 1. Also gonna go ahead and open this, because I deserve a treat after that. I'm trying to remember if you can, like, hear him or not, but why am I referring to it as a him? It's... whatever.
Someone answer, dammit! We need backup down here!
Marshall, are you still there?
Shit. We're so close. We need to hurry.
Okay. Cluster dealt with. Always a main... oh my... always a main priority. Someone shoot a rocket at me. Go on. Oh. It is certainly not what I wanted. Grab some reading. Grab some healing. Oh. Psychology is an entertaining department. No, none of that. Ah, whiffing it. I believe I'm also going to get an upgrade that's going to make it more likely or more possible for me to grab larger objects too. Oh, it's one of you! It's up a little bit lower on health. Actually, never mind. You're exactly what I want to deal with. You're a grenade type. Which means you're just unlimited fun throwing. Oh, there's another enemy. Didn't see that grenade impact. Unfortunate. We were not too terribly far. The friend room should still be safely contained. Yeah, we're good. Hey. There's Alright, we're about to get the psychic wheelchair guys. We are very susceptible to sneak attacks via shotgun. Excellent to know. Positioning now as well. I'm feeling good about this. I like this missile stance it's providing the couch with. Nothing I can do about that right now, unfortunately. One of you also has grenades, and I need you to not be there. Let's grab an actual spawn point. Already have 10 control points. And some stuff to pick up. Why not? Investigate the X-ray. Been that way yet, so maybe that will kind of come up naturally. No. exhibition. I actually don't know if I can go in there yet.
Marshall, can you hear me?
So let's get some more
Yes,
information on
I can hear you. Who is this?
My name is Jesse Faden. I'm coming to help.
Faden. Hold on. I'm setting the elevator for you. We need to talk.
She's got that right.
More of you? Really?
Oops. That was a good throw. How are we looking? We're looking good.
Marshall is waiting for you in the Luck Lab, just down the hall.
I love the Luck Lab. I also love that this is the same room as before. Like, we've now looped around in, again, like very Metroid-esque fashion to that main Arboretum-style entryway. We're going to take this control point really fast. Actually, how are we looking on skill points? Oh, sounds good. Wait a minute. Able to see that. Can't upgrade anything else. That's fine. Oh, right, I remember the Luck Lab. There's a lot of really fun stuff in here. You can basically take all these different, like, it's a four-leaf clover. That's a lucky object. There's the Maneki Neko. There's whatever this fish is that I'm sure is from another bit of folklore. Like, all of the objects that are being studied in here are things that have to do with luck superstition, which probably means that they do actually do things.
There you are.
Just because of how everything in this game works. Which I think is just a really great... Like, I don't know if doing anything with those does anything or not.
Congratulations on your appointment, Director Faden. I'm Helen Marshall, head of Bureau Operations. Zachariah's dead then, and I assume you found his gun.
Just call me Jesse. Trench told me to find you. He said you could help.
And he told you this through the hotline. Makes sense.
None of this phases her?
There's my jam.
Really?
Just... Oh, okay, so he contacted you through the horrible death phone.
Created the HRAs in a lab nearby. We need more if we're gonna survive this attack. My rangers can't secure the lab alone, not against those things. We need more firepower.
At least she seems to know what's going on here. She could know about Dylan.
I can clear out the hiss. I'll be your firepower.
That's a good answer.
Is she testing me?
Darling has systems in place to protect his labs. This should help you get past them. We'll talk more after you clear out the hiss. Rangers, let her through. We'll have to lock the door behind you. Sorry, but we can't risk a breach. What's the situation?
Squad C hasn't made it back.
Okay, can't get in there yet.
Means we should assume that.
Oh, there's actual firefighting happening.
I see rangers over there. We have to help them.
Stand still. Really need to get rid of that quick. that's good. I don't think there's friendly fire, but I also don't want to mess with it and find out. Because if anything else, they do actively help just by being other targets for the Hiss to shoot at. But if I can protect them, I would like to. Oh, that's not great. Well, one of them lived. It's not the worst. This is the purge cleansing. Oh no, that's right. Oh, you. That's right. De-shield him. Pour on damage if I can help it. That was a lot easier than I remember that fight being. I think I was being overly stubborn about the shield breaking mechanics. Oh, probably not until I cleanse the point. Two objects in here. Some goodies. Ritual office, tactic studies. Any of this? Oh, never mind. I'm going south and way from where I would have thought. Ritual office, what I think it is. Let's leave that alone for now. The environmental storytelling is really something else.
This way to the lab? Okay. You must like these HRAs. Sounds like Darling built them. And most of the things around here. If Marshall can't help us with Dylan, he's our next best bet. Assuming he's not dead. Or taken over by the Hiss.
Trying to remember what else is in here. I think there's one of the, I think, more uncommon in the beginning crafting materials. Upgrade materials, I suppose, is the better way to put it. There we go. Takes a while to remember how to do those. Actually, what am I doing? There's another point in here, I think. Right? Or am I wrong? Absolutely sinister. I like that you can even see some of the aura coming off of it. There are also files, I think, like the documents that I've been picking up, that will detail objects of power that you don't directly interact with at any point in the story, but still describes what they do or what they did. Oh, right, there's also... yeah, never mind.
Altered item number 52AE analysis, session 2. I will begin by introducing various stimuli to the item. First, a low-voltage electric shock. No response. Next, I will introduce heat via
just experimenting with this rubber duck.
No response. Next, a series of
I'm trying
solutions
to remember. I
will
feel like
apply
one of these does have,
a
like...
different value on the pH scale from 0 to 14.
more details than you would expect or something.
No response to any value. Next, I will attempt to communicate. Can you understand me? Can you understand my words?
Some of these do get...
If you can understand my words.
Some of these do get super weird, though.
No response.
Like, there are side quest ones that involve rooms like this that aren't friendly. And they're not for things that you would expect to be as sinister as they end up being. I think coming up in this chapter, actually, if I can get around to it quick enough.
You let me here. Any idea how to make it work?
Hello again, Director. It appears we have a new problem. We need to get the HRA machine working.
I've replaced a couple of spark plugs, but this looks a bit more complicated.
Darling must have had a system. Randomness isn't in his nature. The punch cards, the symbols, the terminals. How do they connect?
I'll see what I can do.
Right, I remember this puzzle. Not the solution, but so the first one. Trying to remember if the cables actually matter here.
So, we need to find all the punch cards.
I'm missing one of them, though. I think it's upstairs. There you are. So we need that and that. 2 and 5. This is gonna be embarrassing for a little bit, I think. Solid cube middle second. E. Okay, they're numbered. Two. Okay, you're 1. 1 should be that one.
Each punch card should correspond to a terminal.
2 is the solid cube. Where are those other whiteboards? 3 is the sliver.
These whiteboard drawings may be important.
That means 4 and 5 are going to be notated up here. Okay, right. 4 is wraparound. If I can find it, where the hell are you? 2.
It looks like he was working on something to do with these symbols.
Is the last one upstairs? Did I just miss it? Oh, okay, there you are. That should be right. We did it. We solved the mystery of the punch cards.
The prism shattered. Darling's prototypes have a lot of issues. We need a new plan. We need more Blackrock prisms to make this machine work. Darling has another lab, down in the Blackrock processing site and maintenance. That must be where he keeps the prisms.
I've been to maintenance already. I can find my way. But how long will that take? Nothing here is simple. I need to ask her now, before I go. I need something from you first. What do you know about Dylan Faden?
I knew this was coming. Lives are at stake here, and we need this machine working to save those lives. Once that is done, Director Faden, then we can talk.
I really like her
She's
design.
right. As much as I don't want to admit it.
I mean, I'm really into all the
I'm
character
the
designs in
only
this,
one
but
who
she's
can
got like a really particularly
Fine.
good,
I'll get the prisms
like,
first.
badass leader
Dylan
lady
will have to wait just a little
thing.
longer. But don't call me Director. Jesse is fine.
I'll call you Faden. Here, you'll need this keycard.
Thanks.
We got our level
Emily
5
Pope
key
has set up a
card.
base and executive. Once I have the prism, I'll meet you there.
Right. I'll move out immediately. And keep an eye out for Darling. Finding him might be the key to stopping the hiss.
It's just one large-scale HRA. It's there now. We are about to be exposed to a different kind of resonance. Hostile, viral, invasive resonance. That's what the Hedron resonance amplifiers are for. taking the protection Hedron can provide us, and keeping us from being wiped out.
That means we're going down into the quarry. Or, well, we'll be going down into the quarry next time. I just realized what time it is. But we got through a fair chunk of stuff going on.
Here, this will lead back to Central Research.
Get me to the next obvious point. And that'll be it for the evening. So I'm pretty sure this is going to dump me out at another control point or something close to one. And yeah, right back to the elevator. That is perfect. Actually, maintenance access corridor might have been the way to go there.
Marshall knows something about Dylan.
This is fine.
Is he here? Is he alright? HRAs first. They'll help save everyone, including Dylan, once I find him. Can you keep him safe?
There he is, there.
Like you do with me?
Alright, there we go. BlackRock processing. I just need a control point to feel safe and ended. I actually don't know if this is the way I want to be going right now for a bit. So, I'm going to be a little bit easier if I just backtrack and come back after the fact. Oh, no, that works. Do that in the executive sector. That'll be the easiest way to go. We can do a quick little top off on upgrades too, see if we got anything nice there.
No hiss followed you in, right? Hope wants us to compile all of Darling's data entries from the past month.
That's a fair chunk. I want large objects. That works for me.
He wants us to crack Darling's personal logs?
That's
He'll crucify us if he
outfits. No, not yet.
Who does she think she is, authorizing that?
Well, that is perfect. We're going to cut off here for the evening. I know it was basically just you the whole time, but I'm glad you got to check stuff out. Let me, in honor of this ending, lower our spook rating back down to 0 because we've resolved everything. Everything is fine. We are safely paused, and that is it for the evening. All right, I'm ending. Take it easy.